One of the many great things about Russell Wilson is his durability. Never misses a start. Last night, injured his finger, had to watch from the sidelines as the Seahawks fell to the Rams. Backup quarterback Geno Smith came in. You probably didn't know Geno Smith was still in the league, but he did a pretty nice job. Seattle couldn't rely on that typical formula. Let's be conservative and then wait till the final 5 minutes and then let Russ cook late. Tough night all around for Seattle. They left points on the board in the first half. And you're facing a team that's got a lot of weapons. You know, when you think about the Rams, you have Cooper Kupp, you throw in Deshaun Jackson, Robert Woods, Henderson looks like he, is a good quality running back, and then you throw in Matthew Stafford as well. That's a formidable offense here. You got to take advantage of those opportunities when you get into the red zone, and they weren't able to do that. Wilson wasn't happy where this franchise was at the end of last season when he joined us day after the Super Bowl, and he vented. And I've said before, even before all of this happened, I don't think Russ is going to be there next year. And I still don't think he's going to be there next year. But now the question is, what's Seattle do if he's out with a dislocated finger or if it's a fractured finger? I don't know what the official diagnosis is. But you start to look at this and go, okay, can they survive? Because you're in the NFC West, and you got to survive these games. You have Pittsburgh coming up, I believe. You got Jacksonville, and you have the Saints, and then you have a bye week. Those are all winnable games. The question is, can you win 2 of those 3? Can you win all 3? Can you go into the bye week, buy yourself a little extra time? But even with Russell Wilson, I watch Seattle sometimes, and I really feel like Pete Carroll forgets that Russell Wilson is his quarterback. Because you're going, okay, 3rd and 2, let's run it right into Aaron Donald. 4th and 2, let's run it right into Aaron Donald. And look, I've admitted, I was a C student. I'm not that smart to understand, is this reverse psychology? You know what? Aaron Donald is not going to expect us running the football. Ha, 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 ha. And then all of a sudden, Aaron Donald's there. He'll never expect us to do it again. This goes back to Seattle, Super Bowl, Patriots, down on the goal line. Everybody said Marshawn Lynch is getting the ball. And I thought, okay, give him the ball. If not, if you do have a pass, make it a run-pass option. That way, Russ runs out. Maybe he can run in. If he throws a pass, it's probably not going to get intercepted. They chose neither. And here we are again. And I still watch, and I just think that, we're going to look at Russell Wilson's years in Seattle. He's become a Hall of Fame quarterback. But I think you're going to look back and say that there's disappointment there, that they were not better or didn't surround him with a little bit more. I know that they are, they want the run. They're in love with the run, and then, let's play defense. Well, the defense right now is giving up historically bad numbers. In today's NFL, it's hard to lead with your defense. I mean, even the Rams have the 2 best players at their position on defense. And what did Sean McVay do? He upgraded at the quarterbacking position, added another wide receiver. Yes, they did lose a running back, but then they added a couple of running backs. It's about offense. You're going to need a stop here, 1 or 2 here in the regular season, postseason. And Seattle, it still feels like, and even though they got DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, sometimes the play calling drives me crazy. And I thought that happened again last night. But Seattle's got to survive this. I don't think they're a great team. At times, I think they can be very good. But you're already in trouble in the NFC West. What are the Rams, what's that look like the next few games? Feels like they have a user-friendly schedule.
The Rams have a fantastic October. They play the Giants, they play the Lions, they play the Houston Texans, and then the Tennessee Titans early November, but then at San Francisco, Monday Night Football, November 15th, then a bye week.
Yeah, and I'm looking at what the Seahawks have, because after the bye week, they have Green Bay, they have Arizona, Washington, San Francisco. It's not easy. You're trying to get 11 wins in that division, and it's not going to be easy because Arizona right now has a pretty good head start on you. I don't know how good San Francisco is. And if you have a different quarterback than Jimmy Garoppolo, is that going to be an improvement? I don't know. I think we all want to see the new guy, Trey Lance, and this creates a different style of offense here. But your goal is to make the playoffs. Who gives you the better chance of making the playoffs? Arizona looks like they're legit right now. The Rams, we know, are. I don't think Seattle is. And they could still be on the periphery of making the playoffs. But I don't think that you look at them as a formidable team. I didn't even before last night. And San Francisco, there's still a curiosity there. It felt like what happened last year with all the injuries, and I think they had more injuries than any other NFL team. But I'm not sure. There's like a question mark I have over San Francisco. Matthew Stafford talked about the Rams starting out 4-1 after last night's win.
The fun thing is being 4-1 and knowing that, our best game of football hasn't been played yet. There's a lot of things that we can clean up. I can clean up. I know we can as an entire team. So nothing's easy in this league. You earn every single one you get, especially going on the road against a really good football team like Seattle, in a hostile environment. So I'm happy to be where we are. I know there's a lot of work to be done and a lot of football left to be played.
Here's Pete Carroll on Russell Wilson.
What was the determinant factor that pulled him?
He wasn't able to hold on to the football the way he needed to throw it, because we were going to throw the ball and we had to throw it all over the place. And we didn't know, what he would be able to do. We was just unsure. And, I trust him that, if he could have, he would have.
Pain and an injury are two different things. Because if you can't grip the football, he might not be in pain. And I don't know the severity of the injury. But I've had a dislocated finger on my right hand, my shooting hand, and it's still screwed up to this day. But there's no pain there. And that's what I wonder about with Russ. Is there pain? They can take care of the pain in the NFL. But will it affect his performance? Pitchers will get blisters. It doesn't hurt. It's just you can't grip the baseball. And then you'll see them. Nolan Ryan famously had blisters all the time. Josh Beckett, pitch for the Marlins, had this. But I don't know if this is something that keeps Russ out, because it's going to be hard to grip the football. All right, McLovin, what kind of poll question do you have?
This may sound mean, but is it time for the Seattle Seahawks to rebuild? Yes or no? Their defense is on a historically bad pace for most yards allowed. Florio just tweeted.
Okay, but if you're rebuilding, then are you rebuilding starting at the quarterbacking position?
That's what I was wondering.
I don't know what direction this franchise is going in. When you go back to the interview that Russ did after the Super Bowl, I think Russ wanted out. I don't think he liked what he saw. I think he was fed up of getting sacked an average of 48 times a season. And it always felt like, hey, Russ, we play this way, and then at the very end, we need you to pull a rabbit out of a hat. And I think at some point, Russ probably is saying, why do I have to do this every year? And I don't have any inside information on that, other than when he came on and then a source said, this is a really serious deal. And it still goes back to what the impact Tom Brady has had on the NFL is going to have reverberations for decades. I mean, yes, he's the GOAT. He might have a bigger impact on the sport because he has empowered quarterbacks to have a voice. Because after you had Patrick Mahomes and you had Russell Wilson in the building at that Super Bowl, Mahomes playing in it, and looks over and there's Tom Brady saying, I want Antonio Brown, I want Gronk here, I'm having fun, I want to have more of a say-so here. That's why Russ said what he said on the show, because no one listened to him. Aaron Rodgers wanted to be listened to. Deshaun Watson wanted to be listened to. That's what Tom Brady brought about, because he had an owner who stayed out of the way in Tampa, has a coach who was going to listen to him, and why wouldn't you? Aaron Rodgers wanted the same thing in Green Bay. Now they're sort of giving him that, but these new quarterbacks, young quarterbacks, they want that voice. Now, would I have given Deshaun Watson that voice at 24? No, I would not. Patrick Mahomes? No, I would not. I think you got to, and Mahomes maybe, but I don't know what you want to do with that voice. And what happens when I say no to what you want to do? I have talked about Michael Jordan famously wanting former North Carolina players on the roster with the Bulls. And they said no. And they did the right thing by saying no to Jordan. But Jordan never forgot it. Hey, I want Walter Davis here. Walter Davis was at the very end of his career and had gone through surgeries and was not a quality NBA player. But Michael wanted him. They said no. And sometimes you have to say no, because if I was saying to a quarterback, all right, you want to have a seat at the table? When we cut a guy to bring in the guy you want, why don't you go tell him you made that decision? Like, it's a big boy table we sit at here. But that's what Russ just wanted them to listen. And that's why he went public. And it wasn't by accident. When I started to ask those questions, and then I just threw out, you're getting sacked an average of 48 times a year. More than any quarterback in the last 10 years. And that's when he started to talk. And then he started to open up. And then I realized Russ had an agenda. He wanted to send a message to the Seahawks because the Seahawks weren't listening to him. Because Russ has been on this show 20 times. And usually Russ doesn't say much. Nice person, we like him, but he'll give you sort of stand pat answers, standard answers. This one, it was different. I knew it right away. And then that's when I went in for the kill to see, all right, what exactly is going to happen here? And then you had the fallout where his agent told Adam Schefter, hey, these are the 4 teams if you want to trade us. All right, message sent loud and clear. Got their attention. I don't know what happens. I mean, is it a fluke injury? Yes. But do I think Seattle's not, maybe they make the playoffs, but they're not a dangerous team because it feels like it's the same philosophy. And you're going to rebuild. Does Pete Carroll at his age, he's the oldest coach in the NFL? Pete's got a lot of energy. He must be using M Drive, but he's got a lot of energy. But also you're looking at the Rams and you're looking at Arizona. Those 2 teams look like they're pretty solid for the next couple of years. San Francisco just got Trey Lance. You got a rookie contract here. Like there's movement in the division, let alone the rest of the NFC. And I just think at some point, Seattle moves on and Russ moves on.